"I'm not getting enough airtime," or "I don't like my storyline," she mimicked. Or my personal favorite, "I hate kissing my acting partner." 5 years ago, when I began as an associate writer on Love of My Life, I asked the man who was then head writer, "What does the producer do?" "Clean up the shit," he had said. Now it was my turn to wield the mop. "Send her in," I said, and hold my calls for a few minutes. Betty nodded and moments later ushered the actress into the office, closing the door behind her. Delicate, stunning Sibylle Carter, with her jet-black hair and big round eyes, was one of the most popular young stars on our show. She greeted me with a soft, "Hi, Morgan," and a nervous smile. As she perched on the edge of one of Tommy's Queen Anne chairs, I glanced at the Global Broadcasting Network envelope addressed to me. I was curious, but I didn't want to be rude to Sibylle. I put the envelope down unopened. I looked up at her, but Sibylle was gazing at the show's genealogy chart, which was tacked on the wall behind Tommy's side of the desk. In the form of a graph, it stretches 4 feet wide and 2 feet high, diagramming all of the continuing characters on Love of My Life and listing who is connected, biologically or emotionally, to whom. This is an essential tool for keeping the relationship straight in a show that has been on the air 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year, for 30 years. Love was born the same year I was. Sibylle grinned with delight. "There I am," she said, pointing to her place on the graph. Each character was represented by a small oval-shaped photo of the actor playing the part. The pictures hung like Christmas tree ornaments from their branches of the complex multi-character story. She turned her attention from the chart to me. "I'm so glad they made you a producer," she said. "Tommy's nice, but it's great to be able to talk to a fellow woman about this problem I have." Uh-oh. What is it? She hesitated for a moment, as though gathering her courage. "I'm really a natural blonde, like you, Morgan." She stroked a lock of the brunette hair that made her resemble Disney's Snow White. "That's unusual," I said. "When women color, they usually go from dark hair to light, not the other way." "Oh, but I am a real blonde." The urgency in her voice startled me. "You can ask anybody who's seen me naked, or—" She glanced around the office as if to make sure we were still alone. "It's just us girls. I could give you a peek." "No, that's okay," I said quickly. "I'll take your word for it, Sibylle. I'm a writer, not a gynecologist." I decided to hurry Sibylle along by guessing why she had come to see me. "Do you want permission to go blonde on the show?" Sibylle drew back as though she'd been struck. "Oh, no!" Now there was desperation in her voice. "If I was a blonde again, he could recognize me and find me. Morgan, if he finds me, he's going to kill me." Chapter 2. I stopped fiddling with the global envelope. "Who?" I asked Sibylle. "Who are you afraid of?" Sibylle leaned forward and whispered, He's my sort of husband." It was a cold New York day in late November. Inside the office it was warm, but Sibylle, one of the sweetest and least demanding actresses I've ever worked with, was shivering, and there was a look of absolute panic in her eyes. Alarm bells went off in my head. Sibylle was in a hot front-burner storyline that was keeping our ratings high. I didn't want to see her so upset, but I also had an obligation to protect the show. I came around to her side of the desk and pulled up the second visitor's chair. "Tell me about this sort of husband. Why are you so frightened? If you don't want to stay married to him, we'll help you get a divorce." "He'll never let me go, Morgan." Her body slumped in despair. "He really will kill me if he finds out where I am." Sibylle's eyes filled with tears. At any moment they would spill over the lower lids, cascade down her cheeks, and ruin her TV makeup. I pulled several tissues out of the box on Tommy's side of the desk and gave them to her. She took the tissues in trembling fingers and used them to block the flow. With obvious effort, Sibylle regained control of her emotions. "Running away from him. That's the reason I dyed my hair black, and why I wear green contacts on camera." Starring on TV is a strange way to hide, I thought. "You've been prominent on the show for a year now, and he hasn't found you," I said. "He wouldn't watch daytime TV, but in a few weeks my picture's going to be on the cover of Time." "Yes," I said, remembering the upcoming article, "The Junior Divas of Daytime." Sibylle was one of 4 actresses chosen. The magazine had picked 1 each from 4 different shows for a group cover shot. She was a natural choice for media attention. The audience loved her. According to the letters and emails that poured into the office and the fan chat room conversations we monitored, millions of viewers were hooked on the relationship between innocent Kira, the role played by Sibylle, and Cody, our Dark Knight, played by actor Link Ramsey. Kira and Cody were silk and chainmail, by any rational standard absolutely wrong for each other, and that made them the perfect combination for a daytime drama supercouple. "That magazine goes all over the world." Sibylle was beginning to shake again. "What's his name?" I asked. The fear in her eyes was so powerful it was painful to see. What in the world had happened to put her in this state? "It's Philippe Abacus's." The name meant nothing to me, but the moment Sibylle pronounced it, she shuddered and swung her head around, as though the very act of saying his name aloud would cause him to materialize, complete with razor fangs and death-ray eyes. "It's okay," I patted her hand. "You're safe here at the studio." I'm only a few years older than Sibylle, but the tone of my voice had the desired comforting effect. Sibylle took a long, deep breath, and some of the tension left her body. "Did you meet this Philippe here in New York?" She shook her head. Strands of gleaming black hair brushed against her high cheekbones and the corner of her Cupid doll lips. "In Houston," she said, 4 years ago, when I was 18. Houston's not my hometown, but it's where I was working as a waitress." Her words were spilling out in a rush now, as though she was relieved to share her problem. "This older man came in. He was wearing the most gorgeous suit and was so handsome. He noticed me right away and asked to sit at my station. While he was deciding what to order, we talked about things. He said I was too special to stay in Houston. He invited me to go to San Francisco with him. He swore he wouldn't do anything. He just wanted to help me learn how to have a better life. The trip would be kind of a scholarship, he told me." Oh, God, she fell for that. "So I went," Sibylle said. "And just like he promised, he was a perfect gentleman. He took me to museums and to fancy restaurants. He bought me beautiful clothes that he picked out. Then he took me to Paris and to some more museums. I saw the real Mona Lisa. He had one of the famous designers make a dressmaker's form of my measurements. He said it was so he could order things for me while we traveled." Her eyes were tearing up again, so I gave her more tissues and poured a glass of water from Tommy's carafe. I handed it to her and urged her to drink. She took a few sips. "If you went to Paris, you had to have a passport. Did he get it for you?" "No, I got one when I went to Houston," she said. "I wanted to see the world someday. It has your place of birth on it. If he saw that—" "Those people don't know where I am," she said. I heard an unmistakable note of bitterness in her voice. "When I left Philippe, I changed my name to Sibylle Carter." She looked at me, worried. "Do you think I'm a terrible person?" "Of course not," I said reassuringly. "Go on with your story." "He begged me to marry him. He said I was his last chance for happiness. Even though he was rich and I was broke, I felt sorry for him. Then, the night we got married, he took something out from under the bed. One of the leather things that jockeys use." "A riding crop?" Sibylle nodded. "Yes. Then he—" A brisk knock on the door interrupted her. Jerry, the floor manager, opened it, coiled the top half of his body